compassion and collaboration. Est-ce que les dames en français comprennent? Vous entendez? Vous comprenez bien? La curiosité, l'engagement, la collaboration, la compassion, le courage, c'est très important. Donc ensuite, nous allons passer à notre keynote, notre premier keynote sur le thème Alpha Women, Cracking the Leadership Code. Et ça se fera par une dame. Bien évidemment, aujourd'hui, nous n'avons que les dames à l'honneur. C'est une dame que je me dois de lire son parcours. She is an experienced CEO and digital leader in the telecom sector with over 10 years of experience. She has a track record of innovation leadership, business transformation, and the development of growth strategies. With a number of mergers and acquisition deals she has led in the telecom sector. She positioned herself as an industry expert leading various innovation initiatives within the MTN Group, notably in Benin, Rwanda, and currently in Cameroon. In 2022, she was appointed Chief Executive Officer at MTN Cameroon, where she continues to innovate, lead, and retain the brand as the #1 telecoms company in the country. Please, I would like you to welcome Mitwa Ngambi Kaemba. Keep on clapping for her. Thank you.
Good morning. Good morning. The MTN people are smiling a bit too much. Calm down. So Adelaide, I want to ask you for Adeline. I'd like to ask you permission for 2 things, please. Request number 1 is that I can stay down here because I feel a bit far when I'm up on stage. Cracking the code is fine, okay. And then the second request, which is kind of a request, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to ask everybody to stand, okay? Everyone stand, please. Please do stand. And I hope you can hear me fine. Can you hear me okay? All right, so I'm going to ask us, please, to do something for me, okay? And I'm going to ask you to do it in 2 rounds. Pay attention to the instructions, yeah? In the first round, I would like you to greet the lady on your left or your right. Please wait for the instruction. Wait. Round, I would like you to greet the lady on your left and your right as though you are not happy to see them. So prepare yourself. You are not happy to see them. Please greet her, left and right. Not happy, oh. Not happy. I'm hearing too much laughter. We're going to try that again. You're a bit too happy. Okay? I'm going to ask you to greet the lady on your left and your right as though you are not happy to see her. Not happy. Okay? And now, I'm going to ask you to greet the lady on your left and your right as though you are the happiest to see her. All right, that was happy. You can please sit down now. Sit down. Adeline, the stage got the best of me. It seems I have a better view up here. Yeah. So how did that feel? The first round? Weird? Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of thumbs down. The second round? Yeah. I mean, you could even hear the laughter, hear the voices, hear the love. But most importantly, I think you guys saw and heard the energy, right? There was energy in the room when we just asked you to greet the person next to you as though you are happy to see them. And in cracking the leadership code, I guess that is lesson number 1. Energy. Because leadership, and by the way, I'll say a lot of things this morning. They're not the answers, they're just my experience. And I'm just sharing my experience. In my experience, leadership is an extreme sport. To get through an extreme sport, guess what? You're going to need some energy. You're going to need a lot of energy, a lot of positive energy. In my experience, it is only positive teams that deliver positive results. I have very rarely seen a negative team delivering positive results. Very rare. Also, unfortunately or fortunately for all of us as leaders, a team cannot be positive if the leader is negative. And please, when I say something that touches you, say, oh, yes. You know, just so I know the message is landing, yeah? There is no team that can be positive with a negative leader. All right? But also we are human beings, right? So we have to be conscious that as a leader, the energy that we carry matters, because the energy that we have is the energy that the team is going to carry. And we need this energy as leaders, by the way, because there's so many things that we face as leaders. Great, not so great, good, okay, sometimes bad, sometimes catastrophic. But leaders require at any given point in time to maintain optimism, to maintain positive energy. And I love to do this small exercise that I did just now at the start of talks, because it speaks to who I am now, Mitwa, as a person. In life in general, I truly believe that my purpose in life is to bring joy, bring energy, and positive impact to the people who I meet. That's what I believe is my purpose. And you know, in life, your purpose evolves, right? In this season, I believe my purpose is to bring positive energy. Which is, I guess, the second lesson of leadership. Clarity in your purpose. As a leader, you yourself, what is your purpose? And the beauty about purpose, that purpose gives you the freedom just to be who exactly you are. I'll give you a very silly example. Just last week, in this same room, coincidentally, I had the full senior leadership team of MTN. And every year, at the end of the year, we come together, we talk about how the year has gone, we talk about how we want the year next to be, the things that we did well, we didn't do well. And we invite some speakers from the outside to help us facilitate this conversation. So we had some guys, very sharp PhDs from McKinsey and the big guys. So they came and I let them facilitate the first day. And I was quiet, I was seated just down like everybody else. And the team that came down, one was from England, the other one Nigerian, but also born in England. So the session was very British, very prim and very proper, but very impactful. So by the end of the day, the person who was facilitating the session says, okay, you know, now I'm closing the session. Thank you so much. It's been a fabulous day. Please meet our CEO. Can you come and close the session? And I stand up and I say, great. Now we are going to close the session. But I have to promise you, Chris, the guy was called Chris, that if I don't close the session the way I am about to close it, you will not have the full Cameroonian experience before you go back. Okay? So I said, DJ! And DJ was sitting at the back there. DJ, play us a song. And everybody was looking at me like this, you know? Play us a song. And he played the song, and there we were dancing. Da, 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 da. Energy in the room, just like we had energy this morning. And after that, I saw a couple of these videos circulating on social media, you know? I'm sure you saw the dancing ones. I'm sure you saw them. And people sent me messages like, oh, you know, but CEO, are you sure? But I said, oh, CEO or not, that is my purpose. So the question I have for you ladies in the room, you want to be a leader, you are a leader today. Before you can even be a leader, what is your purpose? Because in you being true to your purpose, you will show up in that your leadership role, true to exactly who you are. And the reality also is that leaders are not made by title. Leaders are made by followers. And followers do not want to follow a purposeless leader. They have to feel inspired by your presence. When you're not there, they have to feel that you're not there. Purpose. And again, like I said, the beauty about purpose is that it allows you the freedom to be exactly who you are meant to be. And as women, by the way, women, we are such a special being. Sorry, Adeline, I meant to ask you for a third request. My third request is Nicole from my office. She's sitting behind you. Nicole has a box, and I'm going to ask her to pass this box around, okay? And in this box, there are pearls, yeah. Please, ladies, when the box comes to you, just pick out one and hold it in your hand. Only one, because I don't think there'll be enough for everybody if you take 5, yeah? So just one. And I'll explain to you why. So women today, intrinsically and natural to you are things like empathy, naturally. We don't even have to try to be empathetic. We are empathetic by nature. Diligence to detail. We are diligent by nature. Structured, organized by nature. The ability to manage a myriad of things at the same time. Naturally, we're able to do these things. So be true to who you are. Apart from true to your purpose, be true to who you are, because that's what actually leaders need. And even more so, by the way, in the world today. In the world today, there's so many things that are going on and going wrong. And I'm sure you agree with me that as people who are followers, we too desire the leaders who are the most empathetic, the most diligent, the ones who have the ability to manage multiple things at the same time. Now, guess what, women? Naturally, you have this gift. Be true to who you are. Be true, be authentic to who you are. But in being authentic also, as women, it's not enough for us to rely on those naturally intrinsic skills that we have. And therefore comes the next lesson around making sure that we read and learn too. I love that Adeline asked me to talk about cracking the leadership code and not cracking the female leadership code. Did you notice that? She asked us to talk about cracking the leadership code, not cracking the female leadership code. Why am I speaking about this so specifically? I get this question asked to me all the time. So Mitwa, and it comes in different shapes, different forms, but the underlying question is always the same. How does it feel to be a female executive? How does it feel to be a female leader? I usually laugh at this question because I don't know how to feel to be anything else. I was born, raised, and still am a female. What I am is a leader. What I am is an executive. And I tell these people that when I wake up in the morning, I don't wake up and think about how, today I am going to be a great female leader. No. I wake up in the morning thinking, I'm going to be a fantastic executive. I'm going to be a fantastic leader. I focus on my craft. To focus on my craft, I have to read, I have to learn. Ladies, if you don't read, you will never lead. Impossible. Impossible. Because for your teams are looking to you not only to inspire with the purpose, energy stuff that I talked about earlier, but they're also looking to you for a level of expertise. And I'm not advocating that we all need to be experts in all things. No, this is actually humanly and physically impossible. But you must know enough to be able to challenge and engage your teams. So when I usually give this question, when I usually laugh at this question, the feedback I get is, yeah, but Mitwa, you speak as though you don't know that there are biases. Okay, that's why we like to emphasize female leader. I said, no, I'm conscious of the biases. They're there. And I can tell you many stories of when these biases have showed up in different shapes or forms. I have gone for many external meetings with 5 other people in my team. Maybe sometimes coincidentally those 5 people are men and I'm the only woman. And many times the people who are receiving us assume that, Monsieur le DG est où? No. Sorry. The female CEO is here. Now, in those moments, I can either choose to acknowledge and digest and chew on the bias that has just shown itself, or I can ignore and focus on the reason why I'm there. And every single time, 10 out of 10, 100 out of 100, I choose to focus on the craft. So ladies, read, learn. That's what differentiates you in leadership. Not being female, not being male. And in reading and learning, it's really interesting, especially when I'm speaking to young ladies. What book are you reading? You know? And maybe I'll even ask in this room, how many of us are reading a book at the moment? Shoot your hand up and be honest, because we're going to come around and ask for the title of the book. All right? And for those who have your hands down, thank you for being honest also. But sometimes when I ask the people who have their hands down, so why aren't you reading a book at the moment? Some people, you know? Me too, I don't have time. I don't have enough time. I say, really? Do you know that you make time for the things that you deem important? You will make time. And I always go a step further, especially when I'm speaking to young people, challenging them to say, the amount of time that we spend collectively, us in this room, even just on things like social media, c'est beaucoup, eh? And when I say social media, I don't just mean Facebook, TikTok, and. Even WhatsApp is social media. I laugh when I see people sitting next to me and, they open the status on WhatsApp, yeah? And they have already viewed all the status updates already. And they're even refreshing the status updates. Do you know if you only took half of that time and read a book every day, you'll probably read at least 1 book per month, at least. And you'll be all the better for it. You want to be a leader? You want to lead? You have to read, especially today where the world is changing so fast. And us who come from the technology world, we see it changing in our eyes every single day. If it's not robots, it's Starlink. If it's not Starlink, it's artificial intelligence, OpenAI, ChatGPT, and all these things. Even me, myself, where I am as the CEO of MTN, I also have to be conscious of how I need to learn and grow. I hope everybody in this room has at least downloaded 1 AI tool on their phone. At least 1. If you haven't, you are staying behind. Not because I know what to use it for, because we are all learning and growing. But I've discovered that the more I experiment, the more I use. So I'll give you a very silly example of ChatGPT. I have ChatGPT on my phone. What do I use it for? I write speeches all the time. So I'll write a speech, not that I ask it to write a speech for me. I'll write a speech in my own loose, colloquial English, and I'll say, please formalize the language for me. Boom, 30 seconds, it's done. Makes me more efficient. I don't have to bother Nicole or Paul and Reed to now do speeches for me. That's how the world is changing. So as the world is changing and technology is at our fingertips, ladies, are you reading? Are you learning? So I've spoken a lot, but I'd like to summarize the 5 points that I made before we open up for questions, Adeline. 1, I spoke about purpose. Yeah? I spoke about energy. I spoke about authenticity, being truly who you are. And I spoke about reading and learning. Now, if you paid attention, these 5 words are the P, the E, the A, the R, the L of the pearl that's in your hand. Yeah? So, woman, as I wind up and open up for questions, know that you are extremely precious as the pearl in your hand. But even more importantly, that pearl you're holding, please keep it in your bag wherever you go as a constant reminder of the crack that is required to crack the leadership code. Okay, thank you.
Can you clap a little bit more? Did we love what our Lady Mitwa did for us today? If you don't read, you can't lead. That's one thing I remembered. So now is the time for questions, and I hope you ladies have questions for her. Do we have questions for her? Oh my God. Do we have questions for her? Can we see some hands raised up for the mic?
Bonjour à toutes. Alors, ma question n'est pas très compliquée. Elle n'est même quasiment pas professionnelle. C'est une question de chance. J'ai reçu 2 perles collées. Alors, vous avez dit que pour chacune qui recevait des perles, ça avait un sens. Et quand on en reçoit 2 en même temps, qu'est-ce que ça veut dire? I received 2 pearls, twins. So, is it mean something?
Ah, not necessarily, mais
Yeah.
à chacun sa chance.
Donc, tout ça pour ajouter que celles qui en ont reçu 2, on va doubler nos chances aujourd'hui.
No,
Une
not
en a
nec-
3.
Not necessarily. You're meant to receive 1, but take it as a double reminder, a triple reminder of how precious you are.
Another hand behind there. Oh.
Hi, Mitwa.
Hello.
It's amazing to meet you. When you read so much about someone's accomplishments and they become a role model from afar,
Yeah.
it's really amazing to finally be in the same room. Thank you
Likewise.
so much.
My pleasure.
Just a real quick question.
Yeah.
Have you been enjoying Cameroon so far?
I definitely have. I'll tell you something about Cameroon. I can tell you many things about Cameroon. So if I go too far, you must tell me, okay, Mitwa, we get it. Okay. Firstly, when I spoke about purpose, I deliberately mentioned how purpose evolves. And if you heard me deliberately saying, in my season, in this current season, I believe my life's purpose is to bring energy into the lives of others. And I have Cameroon to be thankful for that. I'll tell you why. Before I came here, when I came here, the articulation of my purpose, though the objective was the same, was slightly different. I came here thinking and saying that my life's purpose is to help others find their own. This is what my purpose was as I was coming to Cameroon. Coming into Cameroon, joined the fabulous team that's at MTN Cameroon, interacted with a lot of people outside of MTN. There's something about Cameroon that you can't explain. And the only way I can describe it is there's an energy in Cameroon that, whether you like it or not, it takes you, you know? And I've really tried to explain this to people who have not been here, people who I report into, my fellow CEOs in other MTN operations. And as MTN Cameroon, which is of course a product of Cameroon, they have done so many things that are distinctly different than other MTN operations. And I can say this easily because I have been in some of those countries. There is an energy here that you cannot match. And thankfully for me, having been here, that energy that is contagious has caught on. And somebody told me to say, when I said this to them once, they said, yeah, but Mitwa, I guess then MTN Cameroon has got the leader they deserve. And I said, I think you're absolutely right, because it was already in me, but somehow Cameroon and MTN Cameroon has helped me pull that out and recognize that actually my purpose in life is not only about helping people find purpose in their own, but it's really about bringing energy. And I owe that, really and truly, I say it with so much sincerity, I owe that to Cameroon. So I really love being here. Yeah.
Hi, Mitwa. I'm so happy to meet you. It's such a pleasure. I am the manager of Dash Media Boya. One of my questions, I have a great interest in mental health and wellness. So I know that being a corporate woman, those are high stress positions. So how do you manage, how have you overcome mental health challenges in such high power positions?
That's a really good question. Somebody was asking me just yesterday, so, Mitwa, you've been in Cameroon for about 1 year and 3 months. It hasn't been long. How is it going? And I said, 2023, as MTN Cameroon CEO, has been a long 6 years. This 1 year has been a long 6 years. And I think if you allow me to be open, I'm sure you guys have seen the journey that we've had as MTN. It's been a very eventful one in 2023. And you're right. At the end of the day, no matter how much desire I have to maintain focus on my purpose, to remain energetic, to remain authentic, to keep on reading and learning while leading a multi-million-dollar company, I'm only human. I'm only human. And by the way, this side of me is only one side of me. There is another side, right? The other side that is a wife, I am married. The other side that is a mother, I have a son. The other side that's a daughter, I'm a daughter to a very demanding mother, The other side that is a friend with their own set of drama. So all of this sometimes, I guarantee you, it does get a bit much. But I've learned one thing. I was going to say two, but it's really one thing. I've made mistakes in the past about how I manage my energy and my well-being. Let me just summarize it like that. My energy and my well-being. In my books, I thought that to feel replenished and rested, all I'd have to do is take a lie down. So on Friday, I'll go very hard Monday to Friday, but on Friday, when I enter the house, you would normally only ever see me on Monday. Because on that Saturday and Sunday, I'll be taking a lie down in front of the TV, catching up on all the favorite series. I'm sure if you check the highest Netflix users in Cameroon, I'm probably, among the top 6. That's what I thought would replenish me. But something happened during the course of this year. After doing that for 3, 4, 5 months, I realized that as much as I was tired on Friday, I would wake up on Monday and still be tired. And still be tired. Then around May, I got invited for a program, which I didn't know would be the aha moment for me, but I got invited to a program. It was a very select group. It was 10 executives maximum. Took a trip to Amsterdam. It was one of these consultancy companies. And those 10 days, those 2 days of 10 people, was 2 days. And I left here tired. So in my head, I'm thinking, this is another work thing that is just going to make me more tired. But in those 2 days, we spent them having very intimate conversations about purpose, about energy, and I left there, oh my goodness, the most energized I have ever been in a long time. The moral of the story is what? You have to find the thing that replenishes you. You have to find that thing, and all of us have something different. For me, by the way, what energizes me and replenishes me is conversations like this. So while you think you're coming here and you guys have benefited, I'll be walking out of here full on energy, you know, like I have replenished myself. So that's what I encourage leaders to do, because you're right, like I said even earlier, leadership is an extreme sport. And in that extreme sport, it is not only physical rest that is going to get you energized. Find that thing that replenishes you and make space and time for it. It is the only way. I've been asked many times, you know, okay, so I get that, but how do you also balance life and work? And I don't have, by the way, the correct answer for this. I always tell people I tried different approaches many different times. Okay, let me try and be more at home. Then I realized, okay, work was suffering. Okay, let me go be more at work. Then home is suffering. And I was trying to create silos between the various aspects of my life. And I realized for me personally, for Mitwa, there's no work, there's no life, there's just life. There's just life. So now I have conversations over my dinner table, like they're mini boardroom sessions. And my son, he's the most critical MTN customer. You know? So trust me, if you feel that MTN is not getting your feedback, trust me, it is getting to me through my son, you know. I have allowed both lives, all lives, to mesh and gel into one. The last thing I'll say is, and I'm trying this for the first time in December, not even Nicole knows this, but I'll share it. The minute someone says, I need help, it's like, ooh, what's wrong with you? You know? Especially if that help is in the sense of, oh, I want to go to therapy, or I want to have a group discussion, or I would like to go for a wellness retreat. It's like, ooh, what's wrong with you? You're not strong. No, the world going on a wellness retreat, you know. Yeah. I will let you know how it goes. I was previously one of the biggest skeptics of things like this, but I feel like the year that I've had, I think I need a timeout. And this timeout that I'm having, I'm going on my own. No husband, no son, no friend, please, no mother. I'm going by myself, and it will be 4 days at a wellness spa, and we'll do the usual things that you wellness experts do, from therapy to exercise to nutrition. And I hope it's my first one, so maybe on the next engagement I'll let you know how that goes. Yeah.
Hello, Mitwa. My name is Augusta, and I must say that it's a privilege to be in your presence today, because from the moment I found out you were the new CEO of MTN, my first question was, how did she do it? And I know you get this question a lot. It would be great to hear your story. I don't know if it's too long to hear it here, but that's okay. But the follow-up for that question is, how did you do it, especially in a world where women are constantly in competition, like the bias you talked about? Yeah. But how about a situation where you have all this, like the Pearl method you talked about, you have potential, you have everything it takes, but you don't have the opportunity to prove yourself. You're constantly in competition with, other people, I must say.
No, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for that question. And you're right, I probably don't have enough time to share my full story. Otherwise, Adeline may kick me out. And I do hope that I'll get a chance to share it with you all one day. But in summary of that story, which I tell many, many times, I always look back at the turning point. And sorry, the gentleman who's standing in front of you is blocking my view of you, so I can't see you. Thank you. The turning point, I think, for me in my career, after trying many different things and thinking that I was failing, but actually I was learning, was that, number one, I, for the longest time, knew I wanted to move and be something, but I never really was clear on what that something was. And I remember a conversation that I had very early on. I was a senior manager in marketing at the time, and as senior manager, I had reported to 3 marketing directors. Marketing director number 1 came, he went. In my mind, I'm good, so why am I not being given this marketing director role? Marketing director number 2 came and went. Again, why am I not good enough for this marketing director role? In my mind, I'm good enough. Marketing director number 3, when he came, he found me ready. He found me ready in the sense of I walked into his office, and this is the summarized version, yeah? Walked into his office and I said, listen, great Ghanaian guy, I'm sure you're really smart. This was back in Zambia, but I just can't understand why you're a marketing director and not me. And thankfully, he was a great guy and he responded very positively by saying, I'm really happy you asked me that question because now I am going to tell you why you are not. Okay? In my mind, I was marketing director already, and he was a man who was sitting in front of me telling me, I'm happy you've asked the question so I can tell you today why you are not. And he said, and it's different things for different people, right? But for me, it was, you come from a technology background, because I'm a computer engineer, and you want to be a marketing director. In the world of MTN, this is like 15 years ago, in the world of MTN today, 15 years ago, there is no marketing director that comes from a technology background. So you have to understand the organization that you work for. So you are hammering on a nail that is not moving because the environment and the context of your organization does not expect that nail to move. So there you are, frustrated, hammering on, but everybody is completely oblivious to the fact that you are even considering being a marketing director. But now that you've told me that you want to be a marketing director, let me tell you the things that you need. Right. You want to be a marketing director,